we always trust successful individuals in the financial world? This is a question that many of us have pondered at some point. And it's a question that was brought to the fore by the actions of one man, Alan Stanford. In the world of finance, Stanford was once a titan. His name was synonymous with success, and his reputation as a savvy financier was well earned. Born in Texas, Stanford rose from humble beginnings to become a billionaire, founding Stanford Financial Group in the early 90s. Stanford was known for his extravagant lifestyle. He owned a collection of private aircraft, a sprawling mansion, and even a yacht. From the outside, Stanford was living the dream, a testament to the rewards of hard work and financial acumen. But Stanford's wealth wasn't just for his own enjoyment. He was also known for his philanthropic endeavors, generously donating millions to various causes. He was even knighted by Antigua in 2006, further cementing his status as a respected figure in society. Stanford's journey to wealth was not handed to him on a silver platter. The tale of Alan Stanford is truly one of humble beginnings. The man who would one day be a titan of finance was not born into a world of silver spoons and gilded cribs. Stanford's early life was marked by the grit and determination that are often characteristic of those who rise from modest backgrounds. He was no stranger to hard work, and it was this tenacity that would propel him into the world of finance and eventually lead him to establish the Stanford Financial Group in 1991. Stanford Financial Group, a financial services company, was the crowning jewel of Stanford's professional pursuits. This organization was not simply a business venture for Stanford. It was a testament to his journey, a symbol of his ascent from a simple Texan upbringing to the glitz and glamour of the financial world. Under Stanford's leadership, the financial group thrived. It was a beacon of prosperity, a testament to Stanford's business acumen and strategic prowess. Stanford himself, once a boy from Texas with big dreams, was now a man with a billion-dollar empire. Yet Stanford's story was not the typical rags-to-riches narrative. His rise to prominence was not just a testament to the American dream, but a prelude to a tale of deception and betrayal that would shock the world. Stanford, once a symbol of success and ambition, would soon become a symbol of something far darker. Beneath the veneer of his success, beneath the impressive facade of the Stanford Financial Group, a storm was brewing. His rags-to-riches story was nothing short of inspiring, but as we would later discover, not all that glitters is gold. Sure, Stanford had achieved the American dream, but at what cost? And who paid the price? As we delve deeper into the life and times of Alan Stanford, we'll find out. Stanford's empire was built on a house of cards, a massive Ponzi scheme. In the world of finance, Robert Alan Stanford was the architect of an elaborate illusion. His empire, the Stanford Financial Group, was not built on solid ground, but rather on the shaky foundation of a Ponzi scheme. Stanford's fraudulent activities, it would seem, were as vast as they were audacious. At the heart of this scheme was Stanford International Bank, an offshore entity used as a tool to swindle investors out of an astounding $8 billion. Stanford lured in some 50,000 investors with promises of professional management and high returns. Little did they know, their hard-earned money was being used to fund Stanford's extravagant lifestyle and to pay off earlier investors, a classic hallmark of a Ponzi scheme. Stanford's deceit was not limited to his investors. He was involved in unscrupulous dealings with Mexican drug cartels, further deepening the quagmire of his fraudulent activities. Despite his claims of innocence, the evidence against him was overwhelming. Stanford was a master manipulator, adept at creating a facade of success. He used his influence and wealth to buy legitimacy, contributing millions to politicians, and even being knighted by Antigua in 2006. His title, however, would be revoked following his conviction. This was not a simple case of fraud. Stanford's Ponzi scheme was the second largest in history, following only Bernie Madoff's. It was a complex web of lies and deceit that spanned decades and crossed borders. Stanford's actions had far-reaching implications, not only for his investors, but also for the economy of Antigua, where he was a prominent figure. His fraudulent scheme severely affected the country's economy, turning him from a revered figure into a symbol of unchecked greed and deception. In 2009, Stanford's empire came crashing down, a year that marked the end of an era, the year when the curtain was finally pulled back to unveil the disturbing truth hidden behind the facade of success. The Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, the watchdog of Wall Street, had begun to sniff out the stench of Stanford's fraudulent dealings. The SEC's investigation was like a slow-burning fuse, gradually inching its way towards a powder keg of deceit. It revealed the sad truth that Stanford had been operating an $8 billion Ponzi scheme through his financial group. Investors were left shell-shocked as they were duped by a man they had once held in high regard. The revelation was like a house of cards collapsing. The higher they are, the harder they fall, and Stanford's fall was monumental. The SEC froze his assets, cutting off the lifeblood of his empire. With his back against the wall, Stanford tried to escape the inevitable. He attempted to flee the country, perhaps hoping to start anew in some distant land, but justice was swift, and he was soon apprehended. The downfall of Alan Stanford was a spectacle observed by the world. The man who was once adored by many for his apparent success was now reviled for his deceit. His plush lifestyle, his yachts, private jets, all were stripped away, leaving him with nothing but a tarnished reputation and an impending date with justice. The downfall of Stanford was not just the fall of a man, but the shattering of an illusion. The illusion that success can be achieved without integrity, that one can build an empire on a foundation of lies. But as Stanford's story shows, such a house of illusions is bound to crumble sooner or later. The story serves as a stark reminder that unchecked greed and deception can lead to one's downfall, and that no matter how high one climbs, the truth has a way of bringing them back down to earth. The fallout from Stanford's fraudulent scheme was far-reaching and catastrophic. The shockwaves of his deceit reverberated not just through the world of finance, but also through the lives of tens of thousands of individuals and the very economy of a nation. Stanford's scheme, one of the largest in history, affected approximately 50,000 investors. These were not faceless entities or abstract figures on a balance sheet. They were real people from all walks of life who entrusted their savings to a man they thought they could trust. Many of them lost everything: life savings, retirement funds, college funds, all vanished into the abyss of Stanford's greed. The human cost of his deceit was immense, and the scars left behind, deep and enduring. But the impact extended beyond his investors. The economy of Antigua, where Stanford was once a prominent figure, was severely affected. Stanford was a dual citizen of Antigua and Barbuda in the United States, and his business operations were significant in the island nation. When the truth of his Ponzi scheme came to light and his assets were frozen, it sent shockwaves through the Antiguan economy. Businesses faltered, jobs were lost, and the economic stability of the nation was shaken to its core. The ripple effects of Stanford's actions are still felt today, a stark reminder of the long-lasting impact of such deceit. Stanford's story did not end with his arrest. Instead, it twisted into a tale of denial and consequence. After the Securities and Exchange Commission exposed his fraudulent activities, Stanford was brought to trial. The courtroom became a stage for his emphatic claims of innocence, a platform from which he vehemently denied any wrongdoing. His defense was marked by a stubborn refusal to admit guilt. Stanford painted himself as a victim, a casualty of a flawed system, but the evidence stacked against him was overwhelming. The court heard testimonies from thousands of defrauded investors, each one a stark reminder of Stanford's deceit. The prosecution presented a meticulous record of his fraudulent transactions, laying bare the enormity of his $8 billion Ponzi scheme. The trial concluded with a sentence that matched the scale of Stanford's crime. In 2012, he was handed a 110-year federal prison sentence, a near-life sentence that ensured he would pay for his crimes. But even within the confines of his prison cell, Stanford remained unrepentant. His denial of guilt persisted, a final act of defiance against the system he had manipulated. Life in prison was a stark contrast to the luxury Stanford had once known, going where the private jets and extravagant yachts replaced it by the cold, harsh reality of price and life. But Stanford's fall from grace was not without its own own set of challenges. He faced hardships in prison, including a severe beating that left him injured. His trial was delayed due to struggles with drug addiction, a stark reminder of the human cost of his crimes. His tale of rise and fall remains a cautionary tale, a warning to those who might be tempted to follow in his footsteps. The rise and fall of Alan Stanford serves as a cautionary tale, a tale that mirrors the darkest side of human ambition, and one that reflects the inherent dangers of unchecked greed and deception in the financial world. Stanford's story isn't just a narrative of a man who fell from grace, but it also shines a light on the importance of vigilance and transparency in the world of finance. This tale is a call to action, not just for investors, but for regulators and law enforcement agencies alike. It highlights the need for stringent oversight, rigorous checks and balances, and most importantly, a culture of skepticism. The Stanford saga teaches us that it is essential to question, to probe, to scrutinize, no matter how impressive the exterior may seem. But the lesson extends beyond the world of finance. It speaks to the human condition, to our susceptibility to charm and charisma, to our desire to believe in the promise of easy wealth. Stanford exploited these vulnerabilities with devastating effect. This life story is a potent reminder that trust, particularly in financial matters, should be earned, not given. It underscores the need for due diligence and the importance of informed decision-making. It tells us that if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. It reminds us that truth can often be stranger than fiction, and that, as Stanford's case proves, even the most successful individuals can be capable of unimaginable betrayal. In the world of finance, not all that glitters is gold. Alan Stanford, a man who was once a titan in the finance world, admired for his apparent success and philanthropy, was revealed to be the mastermind behind an $8 billion Ponzi scheme. Stanford rose from humble beginnings to become a billionaire, only to have his empire crumble in 2009 when the Securities and Exchange Commission exposed his fraudulent activities. His fall from grace was monumental. His actions not just impacted his 50,000 investors, many of whom lost their life savings, but also severely affected Antigua's economy, where he was a prominent figure. Sentenced to 110 years in prison, his tale is a cautionary one, highlighting the devastating effects of unchecked greed and deception in the financial world. We're wrapping up for today. We hope this story served as a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the financial world. If you find these stories as intriguing as we do, hit the subscribe button right now for more fascinating stories of financial crimes and scandals. And remember, always stay vigilant. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe and take care.